What are the biggest issues that you're seeing in the dating marketplace trying to date as a single woman? Like, what sort of roadblocks are you running up against?
I want to say, well, I'm extremely picky anyway, so it's just that's problematic in and of itself. But I want to say like effort, like the whole mindset of the grass is always greener. That's kind of a thing. Like you can hit it off, match, whatever, have a good thing, and then it just dissipates.
So effort on their part, they're not continuing with the same effort that started with the first few dates?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you think that is?
Well, it's a little bit different now that I live in Wisconsin. The dating environment's a lot different.
That's a lot
So,
different from Tampa, isn't it? Like Wisconsin's very, very different from Florida.
yeah. So basically, my type isn't in Wisconsin. So something that I'm dealing with now is people obviously don't like long distance.
Was it a relocation you had to do from Florida up there?
Yeah, it was for work.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the work deal was that good that you had to take it.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that the relationship aspect wasn't going to be as hard as it is, but
Were you in a relationship when you moved up to Wisconsin? Like, did you have a conversation like, I have to go here, do you want to come, or you were single at the time?
no, I was single.
Okay. Okay, so it's an effort component from him on your end. Janae, you're recently single. It's been a month. Have you been dating or?
Yes, I've been dating.
What are you seeing?
What?
What are you seeing?
There's a lot of great guys online. You can meet guys in person. I think the problem is, they don't really check all the boxes sometimes. So it's like it's like a lack of effort or the bare minimum sometimes you feel like is what's going on there.
What do you mean by check all the boxes? Like, what do the boxes look like? What are the boxes that need to get checked?
Give us like your 5. Give us like your top 5 boxes.
Yeah, let's keep it simple, like 5.
I have a lot of boxes.
Give us your best 5.
What are the deal breakers? What are the non-negotiables?
So in what regard? Like their personality, their ability to communicate physically, financially, like there's several different things.
Pick your best. Yeah, pick your best 5. Like, let's say we give you 5 and you're trying to build the best guy you can. Like, give me your 5.
Over 6 feet minimum.
Okay.
Good looking.
Writing these down, Rich.
I'm writing them down.
And
be good looking. What's
highly
next?
masculine.
Can you define highly masculine?
I would say very confident. Can kind of understand women, not desperate, and not a jerk. Like just kind, having empathy, personable, easy to communicate with, funny.
So I would say, it's like confident, calibrated, and
calibrated is a good word. Yeah, calibrated.
And calibrated. When you talk about understanding women, I think calibrated, or we kind of call that like RP awareness. But
so we have 6 foot, good looking, highly masculine. So you have 3. So you have 2 more.
I would say shared interests. I'm working on a novel right now. It'd be great if someone could discuss literature with me. I'd be an A+. I'm pretty well read. A pattern with my exes is we could discuss literature and philosophy and things like that. We had common interests. And then the last one, I guess. Oh man, that's tough. I guess.
I thought you had like 40.
I know, picking from all. Do you want me to think about it? So I think
you're putting her on the spot and forcing her to narrow it down to 5. So you got to.
I think strong family ties, probably.
Family.
Family, yeah.
Okay. How does that list look to you, Chelsea? Is that your list? Do you have a modified version of that? Do you want to give us your top 5?
So when she says very masculine, that's one of mine. Height, I'm not so strict with. Like I tend to like guys who are big and strong, not necessarily the 6 foot line. Because I'm 5'2".
So how tall are you, Chelsea? You're 5'2"?
Yeah.
How tall are you, Janae?
I'm 5'10".
Okay, so that explains 6 foot. So 5'2", 5'10". So you said very masculine. Sorry, Chelsea. There's 4 more.
Also funny. I can get along with. Also want someone who has very much lived like a different life from me, so I can learn from them. I don't like people who are too much like me, because then it's just boring.
Can we call that captivation? Can we call it captivating? Somebody with a different life? Yeah. Okay. Captivating.
Someone who can also be like mature and everything, but can also like play video games and have fun and lay back.
So mature and playful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got one more.
Intelligent.
I have a question. Why didn't money show up in that for either of you? Like success, wealth?
So for me personally, I never really cared that much about that aspect, as long as they were, not broke per se. But like,
what's broke? Like doesn't have a job, under 70,000, under 100,000. Like what do you consider broke?
Doesn't have a job, can't take care of themselves.
Okay. But I mean, like you could have a guy in Wisconsin making probably $45,000 a year that has a job that takes care of himself. Is that enough for a long-term relationship with you?
I don't think so, but I don't necessarily have a standard that you have to make this much in order for us to.
Is the plan to have a family? Like you want to have kids? You want to get married?
No.
I want to get married. That's not in the cards. You want to get married, but no kids?
Yeah.
Definitely no kids.
Definitely no kids.
Like 100% definite, 1,000% never happening. Doctor says I can tie your tubes tomorrow. Let's go do it.
I wouldn't want to tie my tubes necessarily, just in case I meet someone and that changes, but like, no.
Okay, so not 100%. Okay, so there is a potential to change it. So money for you, Janae, didn't matter, didn't show up. Is there a line?
You told me to pick 5, right?
What's the goal? Because I mean, you're 29, you're an accountant, you're successful, you're looking for somebody literate that's into literature that you can have a little bit of banter with back and forth. Are you looking to get married? Like what's the plan for you?
Absolutely. I want to get married and have
kids or no kids? Kids, yeah. 100%. Gotta have kids. Mm-hmm. So isn't his financial resources important to you? Because I mean, you've painted the picture. I mean, only painting 5. I know you have 40 or 30, whatever. But he's got to be tall.
I don't think I'm better than, just because I have standards. I don't, I don't think I'm better than other people just because I have standards.
Standards are important. Like I think everybody should have standards. In fact, I think most people should raise their standards. Most people have very low standards. I see guys put up, again, when I say guys, like I deal mostly with men, but I see guys put up with a lot of shit. And it's mostly because they have very, very low standards for themselves and for other people. So I think standards are really important. But so you got 6 foot, good looking, highly masculine, confident, not needy, not a jerk, calibrated, similar interests. You talked about, because literature, you like to banter on that, and family values. But money, you're talking about building a family here. Who's going to be bringing home the bacon when you're got a 3-month-old at home?
So the reason why I left that off is because all of my last relationships, they kind of significantly out-earned me. And I found that didn't really solve the issues that we had together.
What issues were you having together with the last relationship?
Well, the relationship didn't work out, so obviously we had some issues.
Can you give me some insight on some of those issues? I mean, money is really important if you want to have kids and a family and a household and provide for them and protect them and feed them and clothe them and medical care and all that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah. So the person I was with, he was definitely on track for probably an 8-figure yearly revenue. He was doing very well for himself with his dreams and goals and ambitions. He was a software engineer and he left that job to create his own company.
Cool.
And I found that in and of itself, I mean, it's nice on paper when you think about that would be a requirement to starting a family. I would definitely love that weight lifted off my shoulders and be able to be provided for. But that in and of itself isn't going to be enough to sustain a relationship, I don't think.
Would you, Chelsea, be, like you said, marriage but no kids, but like, would you be in a situation, or would you like to be in a situation where you could be provided for?
Yeah.
Like looked after? Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to fully rely on that. I'd still want my own thing.
The own thing. Janae, would you always have to have your own thing, your own security blanket?
I always will have my own security blanket, but just due to, you know, being born into a certain type of family, like I have security kind of inherited. But no, I would like the man to be the provider for sure.
How many kids do you want to have?
Me?
Yeah.
2.
What if he wants like 5 or 8?
I don't think that would be biologically possible at my age, but I can maybe adopt, or if he has kids already, maybe we could.
Do you know what the world record is for the most number of kids a woman's birth?
How many?
I'm going to get the number not completely right, but it's in the 60s. I think it's like 61 or 60 something. Bunch of, you know, quadruplets and triplets and twins and stuff, you know, throughout the pregnancies. But from like, that's a lot. Like that's a lot of babies that's a lot of work. No, because I've talked to some guys lately that are like, yeah, it's got to be 5, it's got to be 6, it's got to be like whatever. Like I want to have an army. Like there's some guys, I just want to have an army of sons and sort of things. Like there's some guys out there like that. If you met the guy that was like perfect, ticked off all the boxes, like all 40 of the boxes, let's say he ticks off all 40 of Janae's boxes, and he says,
"Oh my gosh,"
right, that guy, and he says, "But babe, got to have 6 kids. You only want to have 2. This is going to work out." Would you give him the 6 children?
If I biologically could, yes. If I was able to. That's what he wanted. We would have that discussion. Like I said, I don't know if I'm physically capable of having that many children if I'm almost 30, but.
Yeah, well, maybe have twins or triplets, right? You could have 2 sets of triplets.
I'd be open to it.
That's entirely possible. You'd be open to adopting?
Yeah, if you wanted more children. I think what you're asking me is how far would I be willing to bend to someone if they were the right person for me? How much is that what you're asking? Like how much of a sacrifice I would make for them?
Yeah, I think what it takes you to is if the guy is that valuable, where he's got all 30 or 40 boxes ticked for a gal, would you be willing to give him? Sorry,
I don't want to sound spoiled by having 40 boxes.
Entirely. Hey, there's some women I've come across that have like a checklist of 237 on their laundry list. It's just, you know, like it'll keep going and going and going, sort of thing, right? So, I mean, I don't think 40 is completely unreasonable. It's a big number. I mean, what would some of the other? So, what are some of the other ones that you've had? I mean, and the question is for both the ladies. So, what are some of the other boxes that you'd like to tick that you're struggling to get ticked when it comes to dating to find this guy that you want to marry? Because I mean, the question's really about finding a husband at this point for
you. Someone who's actually physically active and more. I tend to be more into like bodybuilding type.
When you say bodybuilding, like describe the type of physique that you like, because you said that you're very particular. Like, are we talking Olympic bodybuilder, natural bodybuilder, swimmer's body, runner's body? Like, what sort of athlete are we talking about here?
I would say like natural bodybuilder.
Natural bodybuilder, okay.
Yeah.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here. And pinned down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.